How about that? As Hanya and I were in the local Vietnamese restaurant waiting for our order to take home, and here over the sound system comes Drunken Sailor as in English, I think, as but probably a Polish cover. Let's put it that way. And Hanya was familiar with it, and I got to thinking. Said, I learned this from an old 78 that was in a set, okay, that I inherited. And as then I remembered, or I did a little research, and you can go on archive.org and search for Leonard Warren. Leonard Warren, like, opera singer, just like as Nelson Eddy, just like John Charles Thomas, made a lot of money recording everything that he could in 78 RPM as multi-disc albums. And ours was called Sea Shanties. Okay. Well, you can go on archive.org and it's all recorded there. George Blood has done a wonderful job, and it's all free, and you can listen to all of those songs, Bound for the Rio Grande and Drunken Sailor. Okay. So as Hanya said, hey, it's Saturday night. What an appropriate song. So as here it goes, and I put in a couple of things from Kermit Schaefer and the two Ronnies. Okay, what shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Early in the morning, put him in the longboat till he's sober. Put him in the longboat till he's sober. Put him in the longboat till he's sober. Early in the morning, pull out the plug and wet him all over. Pull out the plug and wet him all over. Put him out the plug and wet him all over. Early in the morning, throw him in the scuppers with a hose pipe on him. Throw him in the scuppers with a hose pipe on him. Throw him in the scuppers with a hose pipe on him. Early in the morning, pull down his pants and show his navel. Pull down his pants and show his navel. Pull down his pants and show his navel. Early in the morning. Hey ho, and up she rises. She's got knees of different sizes. One is small, the other one's prizes. Early in the morning. Early in the morning. That's my imitation of Leonard Warren.
Excellent, excellent, excellent.
Very good.
Show your navel. That's good.
Okay, Stuart, I'm muting everyone.
Hi.
All ready?
Okay, I'm on a bit of a John Prine kick the last few weeks. He died a year ago last April, at the beginning of COVID. And he wrote some great songs, and this is about, we've had a lot of rain, a lot of tropical air recently, and there's more coming. So I thought I'd sing this song called Mexican Home. Got so hot last night, I swear, you couldn't hardly breathe. White lightning burned the sky like alcohol. I sat on the porch without my shoes, and I watched the cars roll by as the headlights raced to the corner of the kitchen wall. Mama dear, your boy is here, far across the sea, waiting for that sacred core that burns inside of me. And I feel a storm, oh, wet and warm, not 10 miles away, approaching my Mexican home. My God, I cried, it's so hot inside. You could die in the living room. Take the fan from the window, prop the door back with a broom. The cuckoo clock has died of shock, and the window feels no pain. The air's as still as the throttle on a funeral train. Mama dear, your boy is here, far across the sea, waiting for that sacred core that burns inside of me, and I feel a storm all wet and warm, not 10 miles away, approaching my Mexican home. My father died on the porch outside on an August afternoon. I sipped bourbon and cried with a friend by the light of the moon. So it's hurry, hurry, step right up. It's a matter of life or death. The sun's going down and the moon's just holding its breath. Mama dear, your boy is here, far across the sea, waiting for that sacred core that burns inside of me, and I feel a storm all wet and warm, not 10 miles away, approaching the Mexican home. Approaching my Mexican home. Approaching my Mexican home.
Really nice.
And let's see. Well, how about Liza next? Are you going to do a tune for us?
Yeah, I can do a tune. I'll do
Okay. The way this works is I mute everyone, and then you have to unmute yourself again. So be ready. Okay, muting everybody.
Turned up the sound.
And now, Liza, please unmute.
Okay. Can everybody hear me okay? All right. I'm gonna play a little song that I wrote. It's about one of my friends. A stoop at night, first year at college. He tells me that he's quite content. And so I ponder my nostalgia and all the ways that I'm hell-bent. As we trade back and forth our tone words, I start to see things through his eyes. And he knows that it's a good world. Knows it in a way I don't despise. Doesn't mind how I hate manners. Knows kindness ain't always polite. Holds my hand while I carry a banner. Still takes his hat off when he's inside. He is a good boy, he looks clean and he plays nice. Though my edges are a little rough, there ain't much we can't agree on. He's just a different way to love. Never met a harder worker. We're both inclined to stay up late. He'll read and write himself in circles, while I drink honey and procrastinate. Oh, but we're never late for dinner. Time is a precious gift we share. So if there's one thing we have in common, it's gotta be how much we care. He'll take the long road anytime he has a choice. And though I love a good shortcut, we've been walking roads together. He shows me a different way to love. 'Cause he's a good boy, he looks clean and he plays nice. Though my edges are a little rough, there ain't much we can't agree on. He's just a different way to love. He's just a different way to love.
That was just terrific. And you know, I've known Liza since she was a little baby. I think that's the first I've heard you sing.
Aww.
And song that you write, I mean, you know, it was a well-kept secret. Yeah, it comes from the right family. And speaking of the right family, let's one but good Polachek deserves another. And we're going to go to Dave next time. I am muting everyone. And here we go.
Okay, then. This is one of my favorites. I don't think I've sung it in a while. It's a kind of a topical song, but it was written in the 20s, so I had to update it just a little bit in various ways. It was written by a man named Ernest V. Stoneman, who was one of the very first people to record country music. They call him Pop Stoneman because he had a bunch of kids who all were musicians too. And the song's called All I Got's Gone. I'm gonna sing you a nice little song. She's a dandy as sure as you're born. Everything running along right in rhyme. Sings all right considering these times. All I got's gone. All I got's gone. A whole lot of people have nice little farms, doing pretty well, didn't do no harm. sold their farm, bought an auto too. Notes come due, they had to skidoo. All they got's gone, all they got's gone. Went to the bank to borrow some money. Tell you right now, didn't find it funny. Banker says you got none to loan. Grab your hat and pull out a home, 'cause all I got's gone, all I got's gone. Than plow, had to buy a tractor to find out how. Software broke them, poor darn fools. Should have kept walking and plowing them mules, 'cause all they got's gone, all they got's gone. Country dudes riding in cars, tailor-made suits and smoking cigars. Down to the barbershop, powdering and rubbing. I bet you right now they're plowing and grubbing, 'cause all they got's gone, all they got's gone. Automobiles, didn't know how they's gonna feel riding around so grand and proud. Notes come due, couldn't pay it out. All they got's gone, all they got's gone. Don't like to see people wearing fancy dresses. Oh, they're bankrupt and in great distresses. Ought to be home baking the dishes, patching their clothes with their old breeches, 'cause all they got's gone, all they got's gone. Me and my partner went to bed, jug of white lightning under my head. I woke up and the stopper was cold, jug was empty but the partner was full. All I got's gone, all I got's gone.
Oh, very nice. Let's see. I'm wondering if Jeff has an afternoon engagement he's got to get to, so I'll let him go next anyway.
No. Let someone else go
Okay.
first.
Oh,
I was
someone else
just.
go first. We'll see.
I was just,
Well,
sorry.
in that case, since I got a banjo on my lap, I might as well do one. Okay, banjo on the knee and the harmonica on your neck. Okay, another one in the sea chanty vein. This one I heard from Frank Warner, who was a folklorist. He was one of these people that didn't really regard himself as a performer. As a result, there's very few recordings left of Frank Warner, but he was a delightful performer. But he did a lot of collecting of songs, you know, where the Lomaxes kind of went from the Southern Appalachians down to the Mississippi Delta and Texas. Well, Warner kind of scoured the backwoods, starting with the Adirondacks, up through New England and off to the Great Lakes. So he's one of the great collectors of Northern folklore, and in the process also dug up loads of Irish and English ballads that, you know, had come over with these folks. And this is a song he collected in New Hampshire, a New Hampshire sea shanty, I guess. Oh, got the wrong cheat sheet out. There we go. Okay. Ships may come and ships may go, along in the sea will roll. The sailor lad, just like his dad, he loves the flowing gold. Each trip ashore, he does adore with a girl that's pumping round. His money's gone, it's the same old song. Get up, Jack, join sit down. Then he steers for some old boarding house. He's welcome in with rum and gin. They feed him on Port's house. He'll lend and spend and not a thing till he lies struck on the ground. When the money's gone, it's the same old song. Get up, Jack, and sit down. Come along, you jolly good boy. There's lots of grog in the jar. Plow the briny ocean with a jolly roving car. When Jack gets old and weather be too old to roam about, some rum shop will let him stop till 8 bells calls him out. He raises eyes up to the sky, saying, boys, we're homeward bound. When the money's gone, it's the same old song. Get up, Jack, John, sit down. Come along, you jolly good boys. There's lots of grog in the jar. Plow the briny ocean with a jolly roving tar. There you are, me hearties.
Yay, nice.
There's lots of grog in the jar, so we shall continue on with, I guess, the Becks. Ellen Kieran, good to see you. It's been a little while. I got to mute everybody and hope for a tune from the Becks. Okay, all ready.
I had to get a little more light and sorry, excuse me 1 second. Kind of dark. Can't read my music.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. I'm still paper trained here, so I got to read my music. This is a waltz I'm going to play from Westmanland, and it is about 100 miles. I looked on the map from where my father is from in Sweden, Örebro. And so I just found this and I like it. And so Al's going to play some guitar with me on this, so it should be really nice. I hope you enjoy it.
It's from the western part of Sweden, Västmanland. It's near Skåne. It used to be a county of Norway, but Sweden took it away from them.
That's right.
So
For a while.
for a while.
Okay, 1,
Okay.
2, 3. It's sweet. I can picture people waltzing around, and I still need to see that town where my dad's from. But yeah, I like the tune. It's a calming, nice thing.
All right.
Very nice. You want to do another? That was pretty short.
I know. No, that's what I know. Al teases me about that. I'm like, well, I'm playing it as written, and that's all there is, and I'm good with that. But thanks.
All right, we'll come around next time.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
In that case, let's have Mary Jane. Muting everybody. Already.
Okay. I'm going to do a Jesus song. I've started thinking about Jesus songs lately, and there's some pretty good ones that I've discovered. I mean, not that I didn't know them from a long time ago, but I rediscovered them. This one's by Chris Christopherson. So if you like him, maybe you'll like this Jesus song. It's called Why Me, Lord? Why me, Lord? What have I ever done to deserve even one of the pleasures I've known? Tell me, Lord, what did I ever do that was worth loving you for the kindness you've shown? Lord, help me, Jesus, I've wasted it, so help me, Jesus. I know what I am. Now that I know that I've needed you, so help me, Jesus. My soul's in your hands. Tell me, Lord, if you think there's a way I can try to repay all I've taken from you. Maybe, Lord, I could show someone else what I've been through myself on my way back to you. Lord, help me, Jesus, I've wasted it, so help me, Jesus. I know what I am. Now that I know that I've needed you, so help me, Jesus. My soul's in your hands. Lord, help me, Jesus, I've wasted it, so help me, Jesus. I know what I am. Now that I know that I've needed you, so help me, Jesus. My soul's in your hands, Jesus. My soul's in your hands.
Mary Jane. Another of the greatest hits of Jesus. Okay. Jeffrey, would you like to do one now? I am muting. Ready for you.
I always jumped the gun and I had to unmute again. Okay. I'm going to read a poem by an excellent Texas poet, Katie Horth. And this is a sonnet called The Woman in the Moon. I used to gaze up at the moon with pity, a woman there alone for centuries, casting rays of moonlight on the city as lovers stroll and kiss, make memories she'll never have. What worse fate could there be? Such coldness, silence, so much dust, a face furrowed by years of loneliness at sea, orbiting through the empty depths of space. Today, as darkness falls, I understand. She is the brightest body in this dead of night. She takes up space. She's full and grand. Shamelessly, she shimmers, bold in red. She smirks with lips of regolith, her eye a crater winking at me from the sky. That's all I got for right now. Thank you.
Oh, I love that one. Yeah, that's really nice.
Katie
Well,
Horse.
that was great. Thank you very much. And I see Vincent has joined us. Welcome. And we'll put you on the list here. Now it's Heather's turn.
Marionette's here as well, so she is.
Oh, is she? Well, that's a treat. Hadn't seen her in a while.
Yeah.
So I will be muting everyone for, who did I say was next? Heather? Yeah, okay. Already.
Are we ready? All right. I just encountered something interesting, so I wanted to share it with you. My local sessions have been playing Midnight on the Water, which is actually a Texas song. Yeah, from the early 20th century. The Thomasons, the fiddlers, the father and son. Young Thomason remembers his father and his uncle writing it on the porch at their house in Texas on the lake at night. And so it's a very nice little waltz, but a lady named Carolyn Herrera wrote lyrics to it, which I think is just thrilling. So I'm going to do the tune, and you can play along because I'm using a D whistle. And my apologies if it winds up being too high for me and I sound weird, but I'm going to sing it after that and do the little B part, which is apparently the instrumental refrain between the verses. So let's try this. Sorry. There are times when I am blue, thinking of you and me at midnight on the water and how it used to be. There are stars among the trees and some old memories I know at midnight on the water not so long ago. They're gone like floating dreams, the scenes were there as in a mirror, made by the moon on water, and our love was never stronger. The picture, it was broken by the waves we left behind. At midnight on the water, once upon a time. are times when I am blue, thinking of you and of me, and midnight on the water, and how it used to be. In the stillness of the lake, where these thoughts take me again, at midnight on the water, do you remember when? They're gone like floating dreams, the scenes way there as in a mirror, made by the moon on water, and our love was never stronger. Oh, the picture, it was broken by the waves we left behind at midnight on the water, once upon a time. That's it.
Yeah, I like that one.
Right, very good, very
Yeah,
good.
great.
Great, thank you. In the key of G, there may be a D whistle, but it was in the key of G in the end.
Yeah, you're right. It was in the key of G. My apologies.
Oh, that's
I think
okay.
about what whistle I'm using.
Yeah, right. I always fart around and find the key eventually. Okay, so my little scratch pad is getting a little complex, and I see Al Christian has joined us. Hi, Al. And we're already up to Vincent. Since he joined us late, he's getting in on the end of the first round. So Vincent and Marion, please. I'm muting everyone. All ready?
Okay, good to be back again. Right, here we go. A fitful sleep the landlord had, midden and chatting not of his choosing, his daughter till the morning light, abused all those who sit there boozing. And there's the day, it's not the day, oh, it's the day the night is over. It's not the day, whate'er you say, and it's only the moon to guide the rover. So come, landlord, join us in the snug, all drowsy thoughts of slumber scorning. There's not one drop of jar or jug that we'll not have drained before the morning. And there's the day, it's not the day, and it's the day the night is over. It's not the day, whate'er you say, and it's only the moon to guide the rover. I'll stay in bed, the landlord said, for if I get up, you'll all go quicker. Fill your swipes and swill your beer, but not one drop of my good liquor. And there's the day, it's not the day, Live, live, it's the day, the night is over. It's not the day, whate'er you say, and it's only the moon to guide the rover. The landlord has my socks and shoes. This tavern has my coat and breeches. By morning I've no more to lose, so I'll go and sleep among the ditches. And there's the day, it's not the day. Oh, it's the day, the night is over. It's not the day, whate'er you say. And it's only the moon to guide the rover. But I've money left to treat a friend. Here's my last guinea upon the table. So let's tilt the barrels upon their ends, and let's be drinking while we're able. For there's the day, it's not the day. Oh, it's the day, the night is over. It's not the day, whate'er you say, for it's only the moon to guide the rover. There we go.
Very nice. Here's Marion. So I'm going to mute everyone. Hi there. I'm going to mute everyone, so you'll need to unmute again when I tell you, okay? Muting all. Okay, we are now ready for you to unmute, if you will, please.
There you go. What's it like?
Hey?
You're right there now.
From the hot winds of summer, the winter has come and it's gone. And the wild geese are flying so gently away from their homes. On the big ship that sails away from the land, across the sea of gold. Remember November rain. Remember, remember November rain. So my love, fare thee well. I'll write to you soon, and I'll tell you how much I miss you, and how I'll soon be home. Remember November rain. Remember, remember November rain. The harbor lights glisten like the eyes of the woman who waits. And for news of those men whose love has turned to hate. The dark days have come, the hunger's begun, the clouds are darkened at cold. Remember November rain. Remember, remember November rain. So my love, fare thee well. I'll write to you soon, and I'll tell you how much I miss you, and how I soon be home. Remember November rain. Remember November rain. The wind may be silent, the sea sounds soft in your ears. But remember that rainbows are forming when nobody hears. Our love is changeless through the years. I've got arms to welcome you home. Remember November rain. Remember November rain. So my love, fare thee well. I'll write to you soon and I'll tell you how much I miss you and how I'll soon be home. Remember November rain. Remember November rain. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. That was quite a poignant song.
Very nice. Very nice.
Can you tell us a little about the origins of that one?
The last one she sang.
Yeah.
She learned that actually from a man here from Ennis, Sean Turrell. It's like a love song, you know.
Yeah, very sweet. Yeah. Okay, and now I see Al Christian. Would you like to sing us a song, Al? I'm going to mute everybody, so I hope so.
Oh, sure.
Okay, ready to unmute now.
Okay, here we go. Want to compliment Vincent on his suspenders. Very good choice in suspenders there. And here's a song in honor of the pioneers of what we have nowadays, the gig economy.
Yeah, Al, you could use a little more volume if you get a little closer to the mic, perhaps.
And let's see what the mic wants to do here. Whoa, that's not any good. Oh, come on, what's going on? What have I done? What the flip? I'm kind of.
Well, we can hear you. We could turn up our speakers if you're having some trouble there.
Well, I clicked on, tried to click on my controls, and I got the tiny little zoom. This tiny little zoom window popped up, and I can't quite see. Oh, return to meeting, it says right here. Here I am. Now I've returned to the meeting, and now I can look at my microphone's turned way down. I'll crank her up a little bit.
Oh, there you go.
You can hear me now. Okay. So here's one for the gig economy pioneers. I'm a free-wheeling hobo. I left my happy home. Said goodbye to the dear old folks and started out to roam. Said I'd take a little trip and I would have some fun. Been going now for 20 years, still I'm on the bum. I'm a free-wheeling hobo and I went to Denver town. There I met an old maid and her name was Miss Brown. took me to her kitchen and she treated me so kind. Got me in the ocean of bumming all the time. I'm a freewheeling hobo. I could have had a home out in Denver with Miss Brown. Time we would glow. Put her arm around my neck, said she loved me like a friend. When she tried to kiss me, I went on the bum again. Yes, I walked out of the dwelling and I walked down into town. Heard a double header blow, no, it was Dixie bound. My heart began to jump around and I began to sing. And as sure as that train passes by, I'll grab her on the wing. I walked on down the railroad track, then I walked in the railroad shop. Heard the agent tell a man as the train don't ever stop. So I pulled my hat down over my eyes, started down the track, grabbed a hold of that old train, never did look back. I'm a freewheeling hobo, going where the sun shines bright. I'm going down to Dixie where you sleep out every night, where the handouts grow on bushes and where there is no rat, where the whiskey flows like water, you never take a bath.
All right.
Great. And I must apologize for forgetting to mute myself there. I hope I didn't drown you out. Or so, yeah, that was great. That sounds an awful lot like a Haywire Mac song. Is that where it came from, or?
It's a hold on. It's kind of a variant of all those hobo songs. It's kind of they're all kind of interrelated. I think it's a variant of the Danville Girls, sort of, and a few others.
Right. Okay.
I got it off an LP by somebody. I can't remember, some folky duet back in the 70s. I think I learned it from.
I see. Okay, well, I think that we've gone all the way around, unless if I've forgotten you, you speak up now. So we'll come all the way back around to Mark in Poland, and I'll mute everybody. Ready for you, Mark.
Okay, Terry, you suggested us that having come to the end of Old Possum's book, as I could just start over at the beginning, which seems reasonable. Now, I do have a song, but I was saving it for next week, see, and it is appropriate. But so anyway, we start off with the naming of cats. Okay. The naming of cats is a difficult matter. It isn't just one of your holiday games. You may think at first I'm as mad as a hatter when I tell you a cat must have 3 different names. First of all, there's the name that the family use daily, such as Peter, Augustus, Alonzo, or James, such as Victor or Jonathan, George, or Bill Bailey. All of them sensible, everyday names. There are fancier names if you think they sound sweeter. Some are for gentlemen, some are for dames, such as Plato, Admetus, Electra, Demeter, but all of them sensible, everyday names. But I tell you, a cat needs a name that's particular, a name that's peculiar and more dignified. Else how can he keep his tail perpendicular, spread out his whiskers, or cherish his pride? Of names of this kind, I can give you a quorum such as Moncustrax, Waxo, or Coricopat, such as Bomballerini, or else Gelliorum, names that never belong to more than one cat. But above and beyond, there's still one name left over, and that is the name you will never discover, you will never guess, the name that no human research can discover, but the cat himself knows and will never confess. When you notice a cat in profound meditation, the reason I tell you is always the same. His mind is engaged in rapt contemplation of the thought, of the thought, of the thought of his name, his ineffable, effable, effable, deep and inscrutable, singular name.
Yeah.
Very
Eventually, we
ineffable
will
and
get to
inscrutable.
McCaverty.
I got a question. Should you bury your cat with or without their name tag on?
What? I don't know any cats that have name tags.
tags.
Well, there was one, as he seemed to be visiting. As,
Say, hello, I am Kitty, you know.
yeah. No, as our favorite, of course, is Yatush, as the Vola cat, because down as the civic building is Vola Ratush, so we call him Vola Yatush.
Very nice.
Yeah, and Yatush has gone back mostly with his master because it's warmer. But being the practical cat that he has made friends with the master's old black dog, which is kind of characteristic and unusual that he should make that as a connection. He's a sensible, incredibly sensible cat, which is why he likes me.
I see. All right. Since Stuart has skipped out on us, I think we're back around to Liza. Can you give us another song? I'd like that.
I can indeed.
Okay, I'm muting everyone, so you'll need to unmute one more time when I tell you, okay?
Righty.
All ready, so unmute now, please.
Okay. I did not write this one. Marilyn, here we go. Marilyn Monroe was so tired, she was so tired, she was so tired. City girl lost in a field of rye, and see what she has done. Now she's out on a boat on the ocean, turning around and around. Sail for her dress and her hand on her breast, out on the rolling sea, out on the rolling sea. John Wayne was so sick, he was so thick, he was up a creek. He's a cowboy lost in a long steel hall, see what he has done. Now he's out on a boat on the ocean, turning around and around. Lashed to the mast and free at last, out on the rolling sea, out on the rolling sea. Elvis Presley was so fat, they gave him all that just to stand pat. There's a jaguar lost in the living room, and you see what he has done. Now he's out on a boat on the ocean, turning around and around. Dolphins gather to hear him moan, out on the rolling sea, out on the rolling sea. And will you rock the boat, Mr. Presley? Will you let us see it, Miss Monroe? Will you save us, Mr. Wayne, sir? We come so far to go back alone when we come so far. Long ships are sailing away, one little candle to light the way. Till they come to a place where the sun goes down, they all start turning around. They all start turning around. They all start turning around.
Yay.
That's great. Thanks, Liza. Okay. Excuse me?
Yay!
Yay. Okay, well, I guess it's yours, Dave. Let's mute everybody. And ready for you, Dave.
Okay, here's another song in the same vein as the first one I did. And it's by a very unusual musician who also recorded in the 20s and 30s. Unusual because although he was an old-time fiddler, his recorded output I don't think includes any fiddle tunes, any dance tunes at all. He mainly accompanied himself on the fiddle while he sang songs that he composed himself. And his name was Blind Alfred Reed. Composed a number of real classics, including this one, which is called How Can a Poor Man Stand Such Times and Live? There once was a time when everything was cheap, but now prices nearly puts a man to sleep. When we pay our grocery bill, we just feel like making our will. Tell me, how can a poor man stand such times and live? I remember when dry goods was cheap as dirt. You could take 2 bits and make a dandy shirt. Now we pay $3 or more, maybe get a shirt that another man wore. Tell me, how can a poor man stand such times and live? Well, I used to trade with a man by the name of Gray. Flour was 50 cents for a 24-pound bag. Now it's $1.50 beside, just like skinning off a flea for the hide. Tell me, how can a poor man stand such times and live? Today ain't worth a cent, but they see to it that every child is sent. If we don't send every day, we have a heavy fine to pay. Tell me, how can a poor man stand such times and live? Prohibition's good if 'tis conducted right. There's no sense in shooting a man till he shows fight. Officers kill without a cause, then complain about funny laws. Tell me, how can a poor man stand such times and live? Most all preachers preach for gold and not for souls. That's what keeps a poor man always in a hole. We can hardly get our breath, taxed and schooled and preached to death. Tell me, how can a poor man stand such times and live? For everyone to be away. We pay $100 a pound when we ask for steak. When we get our package home, little water paper with a gristle and bone. Tell me, how can a poor man stand such times and live? Well, the doctor comes around with a face all bright, and he says in a little while you'll be all right. All he gives is a humbug pill, a dose of dope, and a great big bill. Tell me, how can a poor man stand such times and live? Once was was a time when everything was cheap. But now prices nearly puts a man to sleep. When we pay our grocery bill, we just feel like making our will. Tell me, how can a poor man stand such times and live?
That was awesome.
Yes, blind Alfred Reed, a real curmudgeon.
He was.
Yeah, I always like "Beware, oh, take care," which was
And that
advice to young
book
ladies
classic.
about how to ward off the men.
There'll be no distinction there. And why do you bob your hair, girls?
I don't think I ever heard that one. Why do you bob your hair, girls? That sounds like blind Alfred Reed.
Yeah, that's one of his.
Yeah, but Carl and Hardy took that same tune from "Why Do You Bob Your Hair, Girls," and they did "Girls, Why Do You Wear Breeches?"
Wait, did you say bridges or breeches?
Breeches.
Well, if I didn't wear breeches, it wouldn't be very good either. Okay, enough of that foolishness, and let's move on to the Becks, please. Alan Karen, I am muting everybody. It's all yours, so please unmute.
All right. I got my big accordion out now. Time for maybe some dance music, some maybe a polka for Saturday night. This is a Swedish polka from the Gammeldans tradition. The old-time dance. This is called the Wiggen, W-I-G-G-E-N, Wiggen, written by Rupert Wigg. I'm not sure when. I had an old recording from the late 60s that had this tune on there. That's where I learned it. Well, I can't see my hand when I'm playing, So like it's really messing me up to see myself.
Oh,
I had to close
well,
my.
that's your excuse, is it?
Yeah,
A couple
yeah.
of days
Yeah.
now
Or maybe
we've
I should
had,
just practice more. That might do it.
Well, you'd have to practice in the mirror. So
Yeah, yeah. All right. So
maybe
Wiggin.
that would help. You know, I can reverse the image so it'd be like a mirror. Maybe that would be.
Yeah, yeah. There you go.
Yeah, yeah. Well, how about Karen? You got one?
No, I don't have another one today. Thanks.
Not one today. Okay. Well, we shall move along. And well, I guess I'll do one since I seem to be all set up for it.
Hard to sit there for so long.
Okay, so this is an old Carter family song, not one of their better known ones. Maybe for good reasons. I never liked the lyrics to this, but it's a lovely little tune, so I'm going to do it anyway. It's called A Girl on the Greenbrier Shore. Oh, that sounds terrible. You know, I think I'm going to let somebody else go next, and I'll tune while I'm muted, and nobody will have to suffer through that. So let's just go ahead and move along to Mary Jane. I'm muting everybody. All ready for Mary Jane?
Okay. I'm unmuted and I'm going to do a John Prine song. Too bad Stuart's not here to hear it. This is Paradise. It's one of his better known older songs. Dates back to 1971. When I was a child, my family would travel down to western Kentucky where my parents were born. There's a backwoods old town that's often remembered so many times that my memories are warm. And Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay? Well, I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. Well, sometimes we travel right down the Green River to the abandoned old prison down by Adrie Hill, where the air smelled like snakes and we'd shoot with our pistols, but empty top bottles was all we would kill. And Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay? Well, I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. And the coal company came with the world's largest shovel, and they tortured the timber and stripped all the land. And they dug for their coal till the land was forsaken, and they wrote it all down as the progress of man. And Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay? Well, I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. When I die, let my ashes float down the Green River. Let my soul roll on up to the Rochester Dam. I'll by the green river where paradise lay. Well, I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train is hauled away.
Yay.
That's a fun one.
Thank you. Very good, Mary Jane. And I do appreciate that you played that in the key of C, because that's the key I was trying to tune to. So it really worked out well for me. So here's Greenbrier Shore and the key of C. I'm muting everybody. Let's see if I lost my cheat sheet. Let's see if I can remember the words. Oh, I was young and restless too. I'm sorry, folks. I am just not on top of it today. Let me get my cheat sheet ready. I'm sure I could remember all the words if I wasn't, on the Zoom. I don't have the cheat sheet for that, so I think I'm going to do a completely different song. What the hell? Well, once I was a gypsy girl, but now I'm a rich man's bride, with servants to wait on me while in my carriage ride. While in my carriage ride, while in my carriage ride, servants to wait on me while in my carriage ride. One day as I was walking down the London street, a handsome young squire was first I chanced to meet. He viewed my pretty brown cheeks, which now he loves so well, said, my little gypsy girl, will you my fortune tell? cast them all aside, for I am the gypsy girl who is to be your bride. He took me, he led me to a pleasant quiet shore, with servants to wait on me, and open my own door, and open my own door, open my own door, with servants to wait on me, and open my own door. Well, once I was a gypsy girl, but now I'm a rich man quite, with servants to wait on me while in my carriage ride, while in my carriage ride, while in my carriage ride, with servants to wait on me while in my carriage ride. Save the day.
All right.
Now this is really not my day. My harmonica rack started getting loose. When that happens, I end up chasing the harmonica like this until I fall off the chair. But luckily, I didn't fall off the chair this time, at least. So we'll do Greenbrier Shore another time. What a comedy! I don't know. Okay. We just had Mary Jane and me. And how about Jeff? You want to do another one?
Okay, can I play my viola?
Oh, you certainly
Just
may.
for a minute.
I'm going to mute everybody. And Jeff, you can unmute and play your viola too.
I'm in a little apartment, not a studio, so it's a little clumsy. So this is a Swedish dance tune in my viola tune book, volume 2. And it's just called Country Dance, and it's in G. That's it.
Yay.
All right.
Well, short but sweet.
Oh,
it's good.
picking with the left hand there.
Yeah, left hand pizzicato.
Yeah, left hand
Yeah,
pizzicato.
that's good.
You know, Pete Seeger once said that's what we call pulling off on the banjo, left hand pizzicato.
Right.
So how about Heather? Will you take another one, Heather? Thank you. Muting everybody. And ready for Heather.
Got it. Hey there. Well, as you probably know, I'm a huge Stan Rogers fan. So I'm going to do a Stan Rogers. Because, you know, just can, I guess. All right, let's try it. This may be too low, in which case I'll apologize and switch to Acapulco. I've been twisting broncos ever since I hit the trail. And I think I know a cayuse from his nostrils to his tail. It was down by the old Bow River in the year 1901 that I was twisting broncos for F.A. McHugh and Sons. A little bit low. There they had a buckskin nag not worth 2 bits to keep. He had a black strip down his back and wool just like a sheep. Meh. It wasn't much for saddles, and it damn near killed the boss to have to pay $10 to bust that 2-bit horse. Well, when I climbed upon him, he just naturally took to the air. And every time we went aloft, he tried to leave me there. Until at last we went so high, the light between us shone. There we parted company, and he came down alone. Let's modulate. Now I've been twisting broncos ever since I hit the trail. And I think I know a cayuse from his nostrils to his tail. But I'll sell my chaps and saddle, set my Longshanks spurs to rust. For now and then I find a horse yours truly cannot bust. For now and then I'll find a horse yours truly cannot bust. All right, that's enough of that.
That was great. Another Bronx busting song. There are many. You know who was also a rodeo writer in the music business was Ian. I'm sorry, of Ian and Sylvia. Ian
Tyson.
Ian Tyson was a rodeo writer, and so was Ramblin' Jack Elliott in the rodeo. So rodeos and folk singers go together, I guess. Yeah.
Hold on, I heard Ramblin' Jack Elliott was from New York.
He was, but he did.
The rodeo writer from New York?
He did. He went off and joined the rodeo, and that's where he started learning cowboy songs and so on. Yeah.
Why didn't he join the circus like Bob Dylan?
Well, because he wanted to be a cowboy, not a clown.
And Bob Dylan was from Minnesota anyway.
Elliot Charles Adnapaz ran away from home when he was 14 years old, and his father was a dentist and was very upset. They lost track of the kid for like months while he traveled with a rodeo under an assumed name. But one of the older men in the rodeo convinced him to go back home and get his education before he'd try doing rodeo anymore.
Who is this we were talking about?
Jack Elliott.
Jack Elliott. Oh, okay. Yeah. Now there was a character. Still is running around being a character. And speaking of characters, here's Michael. Thank you for joining us.
We're sneaking in late here.
That's all right. That's all right. We'll have a song from Vincent now, if we may. I'll mute everybody. And we'll be all ready for you if you're ready. Hello, Vincent. Did he drift off? No, there he is.
Oh, there we go.
Great, thank you. You ready for a song, or shall we?
I'm going to sing this here. I think somebody might have sang this and I'm not sure, but I'll do my version of it anyway. Barbara Allen. So here we go. 'Twas early in the month of May, when the green buds they were swelling. Young Jimmy Groves on his deathbed he lay, for the love of Barbary Ellen. He called the servant to his side. He called his servant by him, saying, go you down to yonder town and seek ye Barbary Ellen. He sent a servant to the town, to her father's tavern dwelling. My master seeks for the love of you. If your name is Barbary Ellen. Slowly, slowly she arose, and slowly she came nigh him. I'm gravely feared a young man, she said. Young man, you're dying. And when he heard the fateful words, young man, you're dying, he turned his face into the wall, and he bursted out crying. Do you recall down in the town, in my father's tavern dwelling, you gave sweet wine to the ladies there, and you slighted Barbary Ellen? Well, I recall down in the town, in your father's tavern dwelling, I gave sweet wine to the ladies there, but my heart would Barbary Ellen. Slowly, slowly she went home, and she heard the death bell knelling, and every toll it seemed to say, cruel Barbary Ellen. The very next day, down in the town, she saw his funeral coming, saying, lay him down for one last time, so that I may look upon him. Oh, Father, Father, dig my grave and make it long and narrow. Young Jimmy Grove died out of love. I will surely die of sorrow. They laid him there in the old churchyard, and beside him on the morrow they laid her there, Barbary Ellen so fair. For it's true, she died of sorrow. There we go.
Great one, Vincent. Well done.
Wait,
That was wonderful.
Mary, I have to tell you a little story though before we go on, and that's that when I was about 12 or 13, I guess, my grandmother lived in Washington, D.C., and I went to visit, and she wanted to know what tourist attraction that I wanted to see. Well, I wanted to go to the Library of Congress and listen to field recordings, and they're listening, right? All the Lomax field recordings were lodged there at the time, and they had a place where you could pick out what you wanted to hear and take it into this little booth. They were on these translucent red vinyl records, and he had one that was entirely dedicated to versions of Barbara Allen. There must have been 20 different versions of Barbara Allen, and I listened to all of them. And my poor grandmother just bit me.
I think I have that record. They released it as an LP, believe it or not.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. I think they've all been produced as LP.
I think
anyway, at the time they were hard to get a hold of, so going to the well, anyway, that's my story. And now let's hear from Marion. I'm going to mute everybody before we begin again. So if you will please unmute Marion. Oops, we need to unmute Marion. I'm sorry, I muted you guys again, so you'll need to unmute.
There we go. Start over again.
When first I came to Caledonia, and I got loading at number 3, and I got lodgings with Donald Norman. He had a daughter who made good tea. And it was me and my brother Charlie, the biggest shavers you ne'er did see. We're spearing eels in the month of April, and starving slaves on the scatchery. I went to Norman to buy some bargain, a cake of soap and a pint of tea. But Norman said that I could not have them till the fish got plenty on the scatchery. So I went over to the big harbor. I only went for to see the spray. I saw a maid from Bolidary over. She looked to me like the Queen of May. If I had pen from Pennsylvania, and I had paper of the snowy white, and I had ink from the dew of morning, a true love letter to you I'd write. And I wish it was sailing the deepest ocean, as far from land as I ne'er could be. I'm sailing over the deepest water, but a woman's love never bothers me. I set my head to a cast up brandy, and it's a dandy, I do declare. For when I'm drinking, I'm sad and thinking how I could gain that young lady fair. When first I came to Caledonia, and I got loading at number 3, and I got lodgings with Donald Norman. He had a daughter who made good tea. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So Mike, you're just in time to do us a song. So I'm going to mute everybody in hopes you will. So anytime you're ready, please unmute.
Okay. Well, this song kind of goes with this picture a little bit. This is on the west coast of Ireland, out on the peninsula, out by Dingle. But I always picture, and this looks kind of rough, but this was a very pleasant day. So I imagine this would be wild during a storm. But the visuals of this song, it's the Fisherman's Song by Andy Stewart from Silly Wizard. Oh, she has come down to condemn that wild ocean for the murderous loss of her man. His boat sailed out on Wednesday morning, and it's feared she's gone down with all hands. By the storm-torn shoreline, a woman is standing. The spray spread like jewels in her hair, and the sea tore the rocks on that desolate landing, as though it had known she stood there. For she had come down to condemn that wild ocean for the murderous loss of her man. His boat sailed out on Wednesday morning, and it's feared she's gone down with all hands. Oh, white were the wave caps, and wild was their parting. So fierce is the warring of love. But she prayed to the gods, both of men and of sailors, not to cast their cruel nets o'er her man. For she had come down to condemn that wild ocean for the murderous loss of her man. His boat sailed out on Wednesday morning, and it's feared she's gone down with all hands. And on there's a house on a hill where the sons of dead fathers are led toward tempests and gales, and their God-given wings are clipped close to their bodies, and their eyes are wrapped around with ship's sails. For she has come down to condemn that wild ocean for the murderous loss of her man. His boat sailed out on Wednesday morning, and it seems she's gone down with all hands. What fate leads a man to a life filled with danger, high on seas or a mile underground? It's when need is her master and poverty's no stranger, and there's no other work to be found. For she has come down to condemn that wild ocean for the murderous loss of her man. His boat sailed out on Wednesday morning, and it's feared she's gone down with all hands.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, quite wonderful, Mike. We've come to the end of our list, but the night is still young. So do we have any encores? Anyone want to volunteer an encore?
I'll do one.
Okie dokie. I'll mute everybody. And not yet. And you may unmute now, Dave.
So Heather did Midnight on the Water with the brand new lyrics that were composed specially for the tune. And I'm also very fond of that tune as far as a song tune. But being habitually allergic to originality, I found an old classic poem that I used for the text for the tune. And this is by James Whitcomb Riley, who is not so remembered today, but at his time in the 19th century was one of the most popular poets in America. And this is his piece called When the Frost is on the Pumpkin, the tune of Midnight on the Water. When the frost is on the pumpkin and the fodder's in the stock, and you hear the kyuckin' gobble of the strutting turkey cock, and the clacking of the guineas, and the clucking of the hens, and the rooster's hallelujah as he tiptoes on the fence. It's then the times a feller is a feeling at his best, with a rising sun to greet him from a night of peaceful rest, as he leaves the house bareheaded and goes out to feed the stock, when the frost is on the pumpkin and the fodder's in the shock. There's something kinda hearty like about the atmosphere when the heat of summer's over and the cooling fall is here. Of course we miss the flowers and the blossoms on the trees, and the mumble of the hummingbirds and the buzzing of the bees. But the air's so appetizing and the landscape through the haze of a crisp and sunny morning of an early autumn days. It's a picture that no painter has the color in to mock, when the frost is on the pumpkin and the fodder's in the shock. The husky, rusty rustle of the tassels of the corn, and the rasping of the tangled leaves as golden as the morn. The stubble in the furries, kinda lonesome like, but still preaching sermons to us of the barns they grow to fill. The hay straw stack in the meadow and the reaper in the shed, the horses in their stalls below, the clover overhead. Oh, it sets my heart a-clicking like the ticking of a clock, when the frost is on the pumpkin and the fodder's in the shock. When your apples all is gathered and the ones a fella keeps is poured around the cellar floor in red and yellow heaps, and your cider making's over and your women folks is through with their mince and apple butter and their souse and sausage too. I don't know how to tell it, but if such a thing could be, there's the angels wanting boarding and they call around on me. I'd want to accommodate 'em, all the whole enduring flock, when the frost is on the pumpkin and the fodder's in the shock. When the frost is on the pumpkin and the fodder's in the shock.
Hey, very good, very good.
Yes, and the second song today that mentions South.
And by the way, a shock is when you gather grain and tie it together so it stands up by itself. That's
yeah,
what
well, that's a shock. Yeah,
the fodder's in the shock.
yeah. I always hear that my father's in shock, but yeah. Okay. Anybody else got a encore? Was that Heather? Were you going encore? Yes.
I was signifying shock. I will
Oh,
happily sing anytime I get the opportunity, but it looks to me like we have other people who might be interested in doing so.
okay.
And
So
I didn't show up right at the start, so I want to hear some of y'all.
okay. Who
I was just going to ask if what is bigger, a shock or a sheaf? Like a sheaf of hay or a shock of hay?
or maybe the sheaf of Araby.
I think
Yeah,
I'd rather
sheaf.
be hit with a sheaf of wheat than a shock of wheat.
I don't know. That's the only
Sounds
question.
like that might be a shock.
Or doesn't hair come in shocks? You get somebody has a shock of hair on their
Shock of
head.
hair. Yes.
That doesn't sound like very much to get hit with.
No. Okay. Now enough of this foolishness. Who wants to sing? Anybody?
I'll give you one.
Okay. Okay. I think Al was waving his hand there. So excuse me if I miss people, but we'll get to you eventually. Muting everybody. Wait, Al. Hold on. Here we go. Muting everybody. Now you will need to unmute again, Al, please.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you mentioned Lomax, and when you were talking there, Terry, about about Barbara Allen there, and of course Lomax and and Howard Thorpe were the two great collectors of Western songs too. Lomax did a bunch of other stuff, but anyway, they stole each other's songs. They published songs of books of Western songs, and they both they stole each other's songs without giving each other credit for collecting it from time to time. And then when they couldn't do that, sometimes they'd put down the other guy's songs and say, "Oh, nah, and that was not a very good song, and that's not authentic," or that they got the origin of that one wrong. But this is one they didn't fight on. So Thorpe did this one. It's just a silly song. I don't know if I've ever sung this before, but I'm going to try it. I love not Colorado, where the faro table grows, and down the Desperado the rippling bourbon flows. Nor shall I choose Montana, of Bowie lunging fame, the pistol ring of Wyoming I'll shun for humbler game. Will Arizona woo me, where the meek Apache hides, or New Mexico, where the natives grow with arrow-proof insides? No, I'll choose the Gulf deserted and sing of the lonely red man. And I'll plant my cot on a corner lot and get rich as fast as I can.
Yay. Yay, very good.
Thank you.
I think he dedicated that to real estate or something, which they had a lot of in the West.
Right. Okay, who else? Heather, you want to do another one? Okay, let's have. Oh, all ready. Oh, wait a minute, not ready. Hold on. Now we're all ready. It's safe to unmute now.
Okay. You want Irish or do you want Kentucky?
Kentucky.
Okay, Kentucky it is.
Are we getting a choice of whiskey here?
It is almost like that, isn't it? Interesting. I like that. In the deep dark hills of eastern Kentucky, there we go. That's the place where I trace my bloodline. And it's there I read on a hillside gravestone. Hang on a second. My hair is getting in the way, and my apologies. And it's there I read on a hillside gravestone. There we go. You'll never leave Harlan alive. Well, my granddad's dad crossed the Cumberland Mountains, where he took a pretty girl to be his bride, saying, won't you walk with me out of the mouth of this holler, or we'll never leave Harlan alive. where the sun comes up. About 10 in the morning, the sun goes down. About 3 in the day, and you fill your cup with whatever bitter brew you're drinking. You spend your life just thinking of how to get away. No one ever knew there was coal in them mountains till a man from the northeast arrived. He was waving $100 bills, saying, "I'll pay you for your minerals." But he never left Harlan alive. Grandpa sold out cheap, and they moved out west of Pikeville to a farm where Big Richland River winds. Oh, I bet they danced every jig, and they laughed and sang a new song. Who said we'd never leave Harlan alive? But the times got hard, and tobacco wasn't selling, and old Granddad knew what he'd do to survive. So he went and dug for Harlan coal, sent the money back to Granny, but he never left Harlan alive. Where the sun comes up about 10 in the morning, the sun goes down about 3 in the day, and you fill your cup with whatever bitter brew you're drinking. You spend your life just thinking of how to get away. When the sun comes up about 10 in the morning, the sun goes down about 3 in the day, and you fill your cup with whatever bitter brew they're drinking. You spend your life digging coal from the bottom of your grave.
Oh my, yeah.
That what's about whiskey? She had old Granddad in there.
Yeah, right. Old Granddad.
You know, I think you're right.
Okay, you ready for the goodbye song? Okay, I don't know if you guys are getting tired of this, but yeah, Dave started this tradition of always singing the parting glass, so you know I had to have my goodbye song too. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Betrayals to you. Keep smiling until then. Who cares about the clouds when we're together? Just sing a song and bring the sunny weather. Happy trails to you till we meet again. Some trails are happy ones. Trails are happy ones. Other trails are blue. It's the way you ride the trail that counts. Here's a happy one for you. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then. Who cares about the clouds when we're together? Just sing the song and bring the sunny weather. Happy trails to you till we meet again. Clip clop. Bye-bye.
All right. Well done.
Thank you for coming another time.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Terry.
Thank
Yeah,
you. Take care.
Thank you, Terry, for having this.
Oh, you're welcome. Same time next week, and also Celtic session on the
June
phone.
6th is the Celtic song session.
Right. I've
Look
been
forward to seeing you
enjoying.
all.
I've been enjoying.
So we can do Irish then?
You can do Irish anytime you want.
Bring whatever kind of whiskey you want to the party.
Thank you, you guys.
All righty. Bye now.
Bye, everybody.